Good evening, welcome to Have I Got News For You? I'm Jason Manford. In the news this week, at airport security, one man regrets getting tetchy with staff as he's led off to have a full-body cavity search. In Northampton, the culprit behind a spate of vending machine thefts is finally tracked down. And in Ashton-under-Lyne, Angela Rayner slips out the back way as police try to interview her about her housing arrangements. On Ian's team tonight is a comedian and former newsreader, one of whose earlier jobs was working at the same radio station as Katie Hopkins. It was his job to tell her when the sun had gone down and it was time to come out of the coffin. Please welcome Glenn Moore! On Paul's team tonight is a Labour MP whose childhood ambition was to be Prime Minister and has therefore made several appearances on this show. Nice try, but I don't think the public are going to make the same mistake twice. Please welcome Jess Phillips MP! So we begin with the bigger news stories of the week. Paul and Jess have a little look at this.
Prince, I can't stand colour red. Can't stand red wine. Yes, it's Prince Charles and Camilla. There's a colour red again. I can't stand colour red. Everywhere I go, there's a colour red. Why is this red? I can't stand colour red.
So Charles unveiled the first official portrait of himself as king by artist Jonathan Yeo.
Yes.
Do you reckon the artist turned up, opened his box, and he was like, I've only brought red, I've only brought red.
The fingers do look really unflattering. I know that he famously has sausage fingers.
Yeah.
But they've really accentuated. They're the only thing you can see apart from his face.
What do you make of it from an artistic point of view, though, from the art world? What do you think of it as a piece of art?
It's a bit Freudy, it's a bit bacony, it's a bit...
It's not bacony, it's sausagey, but...
They've been out and they've vox-pop people. They've found out what the general public think. This is some people being bothered by a BBC reporter.
Yeah, the red is quite disturbing.
Oh man, it's pretty red. Looks kind of like a massacre or something here.
It's very red.
That is quite red indeed.
Yeah, that's unusual.
That's what the people think. What observation was made by Times art critic Laura Freeman?
I don't know, but I mean, presumably something other than it's red, which is what everybody says.
She said that blending the figure of the king in with the background was a clever way to disguise those big ears. What suggestion did King Charles come up with regarding the portrait?
Burn it.
According to Jonathan Yeo, Charles suggested including the butterfly, which is entering stage left there. You can see it. It's,
What's the life expectancy of a butterfly?
short. A couple of days, isn't it?
You did that. I didn't do that.
In other portrait news...
Yes.
Why is Australia's richest woman, mining billionaire Gina Rinehart, not happy?
There's a portrait of her she doesn't like.
Yes, it's got to be that, isn't it?
And to be fair, she's right. Wow. Back to the Royals. What else has the King revealed this week?
Oh, new warrants?
New warrants, yes. Not for Prince Andrew, though. No, royal warrants. The winners and losers have been announced. Do you know which company had its warrants renewed?
Benson and Hedges.
Benson and Hedges, that gone as well?
No, I don't know. I just assume. I just remember that had it.
Oh, I see.
I presume they're against that sort of thing now.
I would say. Well, definitely Charles.
I don't think Camilla is.
Not wrong.
I think it's gone to Marlborough Light. Duke of Marlborough Light, probably.
It's a company that possibly irritated the king at one point in quite...
Oh, was it the Parker pen?
There you go.
The pen.
Parker pen.
The stinky ink pen.
Yes. Here it is.
I love the way that Camilla took over.
Yeah.
Which is sort of what's happened in the last couple of months anyway. All right. Bye, darling, I'll sign everything. Go, Royal Warrant, Gordon's Gin.
They've actually renewed the Royal Warrant on Parker pens.
Oh, Camilla Parker pen.
Hey, there we go.
Thank you very much.
Very good. Here's their letter of thanks. Who didn't get a sausage?
Walls, sausages?
No. It was a butcher's shop near Balmoral Castle lost its royal warrant. Owner John Sinclair was baffled, saying they'd fulfilled an order to Balmoral just days before the Queen's death in 2022. That might be your answer, John. In a busy week, what did the king not have time to do?
Didn't see Harry, who came over for some reason. I can't remember.
Invictus Games, I think.
Oh, was it the Invictus Games?
But, I mean, they were in the same city at the same time.
I'm often in the same city as my dad, and I don't go and see him. I mean, not every day. Maybe he's going to pop in another time.
Have you written a book about him called I Hate You?
I'm in for it. No, I don't hate my dad, just FYI.
I think Charles saw David Beckham instead.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and no offence to my own son, I would do the same.
And do you know what they chatted about?
Was it football?
Nope.
Tattoos?
I've got the Edinburgh tattoo.
Bees.
Bees?
They chatted about bees.
Bees.
Where did Harry go next?
Nigeria.
That's right, yeah.
He went on a royal tour.
Oh,
Well,
that's that prince who emailed me.
They went on what wasn't a royal tour.
no, it's just a holiday.
But it looked a lot like a royal tour.
Meghan did make a motivational speech, as per. What did she tell a group of students?
She said her daughter, Lilibet, had said to her, "When I look at you, I see you in me." Is that right?
Yeah.
Which is pretty good for a 2-year-old.
Pretty good, isn't it?
It just makes me feel my own children were a bit thick.
The idea that a 2-year-old said that. She said something with the word poo in it and then laughed.
That's what happened.
And if she didn't, then take your kid to see a psychiatrist. What's wrong with them?
Finally, what did Sue and Judy get up to on a lovely day out at the British Library?
Oh, this is the attempted attack on the Magna Carta, isn't it? Just stop oil.
That's right.
Something about how the Magna Carta stands for various freedoms and rights, and those freedoms and rights are being affected by the climate situation. But that's as much as I know.
I think they were trying to get inside the case.
Really? How big's the case?
I mean, it's...
And how
a
big were
scroll.
they?
Well, I'd say...
They'll suffocate. They haven't thought this through. They haven't thought it through.
It's one of the best attempts to get into a box you've ever seen in your life. Have a watch of this.
Yeah.
We must just stop oil.
This is how bad pollution in London is. They're 30.
So this is the portrait of King Charles unveiled this week. According to The Sun, artist Jonathan Yeo said he was nervous about the unveiling. I don't know why. Charles didn't like it. He could get Kate to tickle it up in Photoshop. Jonathan Yeo is an accomplished royal portrait painter, but I'm happy to say he's no Rolf Harris. Jilly Cooper was given a damehood this week. Charles hosted the investiture ceremony at Windsor Castle, where Jilly Cooper was honoured. Nervously, hesitantly, she knelt trembling before the proud monarch. No, Jilly, stop! Ian and Gleb, take a look at this.
That's some Tory voters just going through.
And Rishi, or Keir Starmer's predecessor. Can see Keir's head, but nothing else.
And that's the future. Rishi Sunak has got a new approach this week, saying if you don't vote for me, there won't be someone like me in charge when war breaks out. I think this is what used to be Project Fear. And he's now saying there's Russians, there's Chinese, there's North Korean, there's Iranians. You know, who knew? And therefore we should vote for him.
I literally can't understand why he carries on. He's got loads of money and, like, houses all over the place.
Yeah, so's Angela Rayner.
Yes, it's the same. Angela Rayner and Rishi Sunak. Exactly the same.
It's a principle, Jess. It's not about quantity. It's about honesty, dealing with these matters. The week you announce a tax fraud inquiry, one of the people isn't coming entirely clean about the tax. I'm just saying.
She is coming clean about it.
Why did you go so high then with your voice?
Because I'm incensed.
Yeah.
He said, don't let Keir Starmer depress you into voting for him. Keir's going to actually excite you with his 6-point plan.
Yeah, it used to be 5, but inflation, terrible.
Here he was in full flow yesterday.
If you can't pay your bills, if you can't buy a house, these are huge changes. That's a friendly little thing.
That's a strong man we need in a time of crisis.
Wasn't there an interview where Obama was being bothered by a fly and he caught it?
Oh, yeah.
Ben knows that Boris Johnson one where he then tried to chat up the fly.
Jess, Keir, is he as much of a right laugh as he seems?
He's funnier than Rishi Sunak. He told me to fuck off the other day.
Did he?
Yeah, because I was showing a level of sympathy to Rishi Sunak. I was like, oh, I am starting to feel a bit sorry for him. And he was like, oh, fuck off, Jess.
Fair enough. Yeah. He did try a little zinger against Rishi in Prime Minister's Questions this week. He was planning to call him Tech Bro. Let's see how well it went.
Mr. Speaker, he must be the only tech brother in the country who can't work a debit card or send an email.
You want to die, don't you?
Keir's not had a great week because Rishi Sunak has been able to make some quite good jokes about who is this completely awful person who's just joined the Labour Party, who used to be, you know, in the Tory Party 5 minutes ago. It does give you leverage. Was that depressing, Jess?
Yeah, a bit depressing.
Yeah. Anyone else you wouldn't like to welcome?
There's no way I can do this without it being libellous. So...
Good, let's go.
It's for the room.
I'll tell you what, I'll do it in Parliament because then I'm safe.
What do you think about having Natalie Elphicke as a colleague?
I find it problematic considering what she said about the victims of her ex-husband who was sent to prison for sexual crimes.
You got her to apologise for...
I did get her to apologise. I don't know that she would see it in those terms, but that's how it happened.
Did she vote for you this week with your motion?
She did vote with my motion, and we won by 1. And so people say to me...
There you go.
People say, oh, it was Natalie Elphicke's vote. That's not how maths works.
If you're going to clap, clap. What is Rishi Sunak encouraging everyone to do?
Grow their own vegetables.
Grow their own vegetables.
Vote Labour.
He says we're becoming too reliant on foreign fruits and vegetables. So, do you want to play a little game?
Yes, please. Yeah.
The Mail produced a handy guide to what foods should be eaten if you're patriotic.
Right.
Oh.
Red, white and blueberry.
A big boo for no, and a cheer for yes.
Oh. OK.
That's what we're going to go for. So, here we are. Fried egg on toast and a glass of milk.
Yes!
Proper British.
Yeah.
Ham.
No.
Boo, it's boo. We don't
Is it foreign?
Yeah,
Danish.
foreign. Avocado on toast. Patriotic or not patriotic?
Boo!
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Foreign.
Foreign muck.
When did we stop calling it an avocado pear?
You're ruining my game.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, let me just play this game. That's...
I think the producers got there before you.
I apologise.
King prawns? Boo, yeah, from Asia. Boo. I mean, I'm going to get cancelled for this. I can feel it. I'm going to edit just that. Context, I'm going Asia. Boo. Anyway, I could play that all night, but I've got to move on. So this is Rishi Sunak starting his election campaign. Meanwhile, the Tories have been trying to undermine the defection of Natalie Elphicke to the Labour Party, with one source revealing Elphicke was considered for a government job first by Liz Truss when she became Prime Minister in 2022. Eventually, it was decided she wasn't fit for such high office, and nor was Natalie Elphicke. This week, Dominic Cummings gave the newspaper his first major interview since leaving Number 10, which began, for some, Dominic Cummings is a visionary. Hang on. I thought his vision was terrible. Time now for round 2, and inspired by the new royal portrait, we've commissioned our own artist to paint some news stories. So, fingers on buzzers for the painting spin quiz. Here's your first one.
So this is the Donald Trump trial. Michael Cohen, who used to be Donald Trump's fixer, is now trying to fix him in another way. And there's going to be a presidential debate. Joe Biden's insisted that there's no audience, and also that when it's not your turn to talk, the microphone will be turned off, which I think... And also... It's going to be grand entertainment because Donald Trump is seriously losing it. He made a speech the other day at one of his rallies. He complimented the late, great Hannibal Lecter.
That's right.
And also he said from his favourite film, The Silence of the Lamb. Along with his other favourite film, Star War, Austin Power, and The Magnificent Six.
Do you want to see the clip?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Please.
Here we go.
Silence of the Lamb. Has anyone ever seen The Silence of the Lamb? The late, great Hannibal Lecter is a wonderful man. He oftentimes would have a friend for dinner. Remember the last scene? Excuse me, I'm about to have a friend for dinner as this poor doctor walked by. I'm about to have a friend for dinner, but Hannibal Lecter, congratulations, the late, great Hannibal Lecter.
You could trace Donald Trump's hold over his supporters by looking at the people in the background. Like 3 or 4 years ago, they were all cheering. Now they look completely confused.
Is he just into every baddie from every movie? So it's the great shark Jaws. We love him because he's great and he's white.
This week, 81-year-old President Biden and 77-year-old Donald Trump agreed to a televised head-to-head debate. Yes, just 2 men, 2 microphones, 1 defibrillator. Right, okay. All right, fingers on buzzers, teams. Last one, here we go, for the masterpiece.
Right. This is Tottenham versus Manchester City, I think. And Manchester City were playing at Spurs, and Arsenal are challenging Manchester City for the title. It was thought that a lot of Spurs fans wanted their team to lose to stop Arsenal from winning the championship.
That's exactly right, yeah.
Could you explain it again?
The Royal Engineers were playing the Corinthians.
That's a proper match.
A proper match, yes.
Before the game, what did Australian manager of Spurs, Ange Postecoglou, say to journalists who asked him if he thought the home crowd would actually want to lose the game to stop Arsenal winning?
Well, he said, no, I don't think any true Spurs fan... Why is he talking in a South African accent? He said, I don't think any true football fan would want that.
Yeah, he said, please don't tell me that's your world. If it is, you need counselling. I understand rivalry, but I'll never understand anyone wanting their own team to lose. To which a Spurs fan immediately tweeted, I want us to lose so badly on Tuesday that we get an Arsenal club statement afterwards reporting us for match fixing. The Tottenham fans switched allegiance from their own side to Man City, shamelessly supporting whoever seems likely to win. Who'd do that, eh? Time now for the odd one out round. Just one between you this week. They are Van Halen, tax lawyer Daniel Needle, the National Cyber Security Centre, and Bambi Thug.
Bambi Thug is a very well-known singer.
This week.
Who plays for Tottenham. No, she was on Eurovision.
She was the Irish entry.
Yes.
And there was trouble. She had messages hidden in her tattoos.
Oh, did she?
She is
There you
subtle,
go.
isn't she?
Yeah. Is that right?
That is correct, yes. Well done.
And who's he? He's a lawyer.
He's a tax lawyer, and he often goes on Twitter and breaks down the actual tax law for people to understand.
He did like a prank involving red wine.
Go on.
It was like a way of checking if people read through like reading through terms and conditions. That he basically put like a free fancy.
Oh yeah.
In the middle of someone's...
Just to see if they read it, and I think it's only just been claimed.
Yeah, that's correct. That is correct. Well done.
Van Halen's the odd one out.
Why is that?
They're famous for asking sort of like a bowl of Smarties but having all the red ones taken out.
Yeah.
Van Halen said the only reason that they did that was to make sure that somebody had read it. So those two are in. She's got hidden messages. The National Cyber Security don't hide messages when that's actually what they should do.
That's it, bang on, yeah.
Oh,
Well done, yeah. There you go. They've all hidden information apart from the National Cyber Security Centre, which openly advertised the door entry code to visitors. Anyone got an idea what the code for the door was?
1, 2, 3, 4.
It was 1, 2, 3, 4,
My husband, who worked on many building sites, said if you want to ever get into a building site, it's always 1966.
19, sorry.
And what happened then?
It's the anniversary of the Battle of Hastings.
What are the top password choices in the UK, do you think?
Password.
Password's up there.
121212.
Do you know what? It's not. Keep that. Shall we do the top 10 of most popular passwords in the UK? All right, here goes. All right, at number 1, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 2 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Number 3 is password. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is in 4. QWERTY at number 5 for you letter fans. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Sneaky. Let me in at 9, and then out of nowhere, it's football at number 10.
That's absolutely brilliant. That makes me love people.
There's a lot of people quickly changing their passwords at home right now. How did the security centre defend their actions?
We're stupid.
They said it's the code they give to journalists, as it's all most of them can remember. Fair play, fair play. So you're quite right. Dan Needle hid a reward on his think tank's website for anyone who bothered to read the terms and conditions. A 10-year-old bottle of red Bordeaux worth 35 quid.
I found it says on my contract I won't bring the BBC into disrepute.
Yeah, but you've never signed it, though, have you?
Baroness Mone went after him.
Yeah.
Try and stop him saying that she'd basically ripped off the entire country and then taken the money and transferred it to a private family trust.
Well, that didn't stop you saying that, did it? So well done.
Rock band Van Halen demanded M&M's backstage, but with all the brown ones taken out. It was actually a test. Lead singer David Lee Roth explained in his memoir, if I saw a brown M&M backstage, they didn't read the contract. Guaranteed you're going to arrive at technical error. That happens to me as well.
Does it?
Yeah, and I got here today, and there's brown M&M's in my room there. I was absolutely furious about it and just... What did Irish Eurovision entry Bambi Thug try and hide?
Ian said tattoos.
Yeah, what
messages
was on
the
them?
tattoos?
It was the word ceasefire. It was written in the ancient Irish writing known as Ogham. Let's have a little look at that. There it is, right on the side there. Coincidentally, an ancient stone bearing Ogham's script was dug up this week by a man in Coventry. Here it is.
Ooh.
I mean, is it Ogham, or has someone just hit that with a spade a lot? Graham Senior had been clearing out an overgrown flower bed. He said, I just saw this thing sticking out and thought, that's not normal. Back to Eurovision. What happened during Finland's performance?
Oh, was this the bloke with no trousers on? Oh, he was brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. One of the performers climbed out of a giant egg wearing tiny denim shorts and then accidentally exposed himself. Graham in Coventry said, I just saw this thing sticking out and thought... That's not normal. Not normal. Time now for the Missing Words round, which this week features as its guest publication, Wood Turning Magazine. And we start with... British cheesemonger causes controversy after suggesting what?
British cheesemonger causes controversy after suggesting threesome with 2 women who tried to steal the Magna Carta. That is right, isn't it?
The actual answer is British cheesemonger causes controversy after suggesting you dip your cheese in coffee.
Oh, no. No.
Lost his mind. Cheesemonger Edward Hancock has developed a Gouda that is best enjoyed with black coffee. According to Edward, chunks of cheese should be immersed in the coffee for 30 seconds, then removed, after which bits of coffee, cheese or choffee are left at the bottom of the cup, along with the rest of the coffee and the cheese. Right, next one, here we go. If you're having problems with what, you are not alone.
Paranoia.
If you're having problems with solitude.
I'm not sure you're going to get it, guys. Premature adhesive solidification. Yeah.
It's true.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
Happens all the time.
Nothing to be embarrassed about, lad.
No.
Finally, your teenager is more likely to what than what?
Be younger than you.
Wank than study. Oh, that is true.
No, they could do both.
The rise and fall of the Russian Empire. Julius Caesar!
Is it more likely to do...
Oh, you're going to try and answer it now, are you?
More likely to call you basic than a plonker.
Oh, right.
So the final scores are Ian and Glenn have 3, Paul and Jess have 8. On which note, we say thank you to our panellists Ian Hislop and Glenn Moore, Paul Merton and Jess Phillips. And I leave you with news that after performing a successful sellout show in Paris, Keith Richards and Mick Jagger celebrate by letting their hair down at a local nightclub. That could be the 2 women from the British Museum there, wouldn't it? At Labour Party headquarters, in the queue for the canteen, someone bumps into Wes Streeting with a tray of cucumbers. And at a Lib Dem election fundraiser, it appears organisers may have misjudged the number of attendees as the lunchtime sandwich platter is put out. Good night.
Murder, They Hope is a scream, a very northern whodunit with an all-star cast. Press red to watch now on iPlayer. And the comedy continues in Cork here on BBC One. Back to class for Connor in Young Offenders next.